Good morning, everyone. It's Dana, and it's Thursday, which means it's time for Tap Talk. I'm back live this week, and I'm really excited to bring on not an arts leader, not an artist, but somebody who has found a way to utilize the arts in their own mission to better advance their work and use the arts to support their goals. So let's get right to my guest today, Jill Christopher, the leader of the Ronald McDonald House in Fargo. Hi, Jill.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Oh my gosh, thanks for joining me. I'm excited to talk with you because Ronald McDonald House was a recipient of the first ever Choice Bank Arts Partnership Grants, which was a program that we developed in collaboration with Choice Bank last year to bring arts to health and human services nonprofits who wanted to use the arts to advance their own mission. Such a great program, because we know that lots of people in positions like yours, Jill, want to be doing more with art, but nobody's got the budget to all of a sudden branch away from your primary mission, which I'll let you talk about in a second, to doing something like art. So maybe let's start there. Let's talk about Ronald McDonald House and what your role in our community is.
Sure. We at the Ronald McDonald House, we provide housing and support for families who have children in the hospital. So we have two main programs: our Ronald McDonald House, which is our building where people can stay overnight and stay from 1 day to many days. Our average is 12 days, but we've had families that have stayed months with us. And our other program that we have is our family room, our Ronald McDonald Family Room, which is actually a space within Essentia Health Hospital where families can find comfort and support right near their child's bedside. So we're all about keeping families together and making sure they can be there for the big decisions, the care that their child needs to get them well.
Boy, I can't imagine the value of what you provide, because I was fortunate to have a healthy child, but even one afternoon, he popped his head open on a sidewalk, and we spent 6 hours in the emergency room or whatever it ended up being. And that is some of the most vulnerable, scary time in anybody's life, because you just don't know what's coming. And I can't imagine adding on top of that, where are we going to stay? We're from out of town. Who's going to take care of this little person? And those are just questions nobody wants to be dealing with. So what a gift you must be providing families.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, you're right on. It's the unknown. It's the expense, gas price, the extra money going back and forth, eating out, having a place to stay. If you had to stay at a hotel and eat out every meal, you're well over $100 a day.
Yes.
Which not very many people have that kind of money lying around.
Well, no. And if you do, it's not really how you hope to spend it.
Correct. Not the hotel stay you had planned for that.
Right. Yes. I want to put up your website just in case people want to get to it. Okay. So talk about, Jill, what you did with this small grant that you applied for and received from the Arts Partnership through this Choice Bank Arts Partnership Grant, because I love what you did.
Yeah. So one of the things that was really exciting for us about this grant is it gave us an opportunity to think about things that when we built our new building. So we built a new Ronald McDonald House in May. We opened in May of 2018. And our
It's
design.
only been 4.5 years, Jill.
I know. Isn't that crazy? It's gone so fast. I know. It's gone so fast. But, we have beautiful art. We have a lot of pictures of families. We have a lot of pictures of the community. So in our hallways is a lot of Fargo pictures and really getting people kind of acclimated with where they're at. And then in the guest rooms, we put a Minnesota picture and a North Dakota picture. So our North Dakota picture is a little bit more farm field. Mm-hmm. Our Minnesota picture is a little bit more woodsy. And because that's where the majority of our families come from. So we wanted them to have something they could relate with. But one of the things we really felt like was missing in this space is a way to reach out to our Native American families. So the indigenous families that stay here, about 20% of the families that stay here, and our art didn't really represent that. And we wanted to take this opportunity to pick some art that would represent that those families and help them find some comfort and hopefully connection with the art in the space as well. We were super excited to find two artists, Daniel Longsoldier and Donald Montalou, that do some really cool things. We tried to pick various art, so it wasn't all exactly the same. So we have ledger art, we have hide painting, and then really tried to fit things that really felt like they fit our community. So we looked for art that had that community feel, that really, one of the things that I love about this art is how it shows the community and shows how home and family is so important to their culture. Mm. And so we really were excited to work with the artists that we found to get some good pieces. And you're exactly right. It's something that we would not probably have risen to the top of biggest needs in the space. Nope. So it's a great opportunity. We were really excited about it.
That's fantastic. But I guess my next question for you is just, have you gotten any feedback on it?
We have. Yeah. So people have started to notice. So one of the pieces we put in our intake office, so that's the first space that new families come to check in. It's a really comfy, homey space. And so one of them is in there. And the other two are in our living room spaces. So we have one on each floor, and that's a space that everyone's in. That's where the laundry room is, all the things that you might need. And it's been noticed. And I think that's been really fun to see. Not only they noticed that we updated some art in the space, but the fact that it felt more representative of that. And also I liked that it wasn't photography. We have a lot of cool photography in our building for art. But we didn't have a lot of art, if that makes sense. Photography is not art.
In my world, Jill, that makes absolute sense. Yes.
And just a different medium. Maybe that's what it is. Yes. That felt a little underrepresented in our building. And so that was really exciting. But yeah, it's been really nice to have some families notice that we're trying to better represent the families that we see here.
You know, I think that that's such a great way to say that. We all have so much work to do around equity and representation and considering the whole population that we serve. And we can't be at 100% on day one, but we can take incremental steps. And I think that's, if I can just take a minute to talk about this grant program, which for everybody else is being renamed this year to the Art for All grant program, because Choice Bank launched this program with us, and we're so grateful for their vision and their investment in it. But it's become such a powerful program in just 1 year that we were able to add additional business dollars to it. So this year, the grant amount will double, which I'm thrilled. Yeah, I'm really thrilled about. I think we were able to give 7 grants, I believe, last year. We should be able to give 10 to 14 this year, hopefully, depending on how the applications fall and what the needs are. But just again, this idea of health and human service needs are so imperative. I mean, you can't say to someone, well, we're going to buy art instead of beds for homeless people, or we're going to buy art instead of providing safe space for families, or whatever the need is. But if we can be that bridge between going from existence and safety to feeling like you belong in that existing safe space, that's a really important facet of one of the things that arts does in a community. Is it serves everybody wherever they are and can create a warmer, more balanced, more welcoming space for everybody who shows up. I love that was your project.
Yeah. And that's, I think you hit the nail on the head. One of our biggest goals here is to make everyone feel welcome from the minute they walk in the door, because they have a lot of stress going on. And so we want to take as much of that away as we can. So we want them to feel like home. We want them to feel like it's a place where they can come and live. They can live in your house. And that really makes it feel a lot more like it's representative of a lot more people.
I knew that we'd have a good conversation and that you would say all the right things, Jill, but you really have. So I appreciate that. I want to just quickly type in our director of operation, Tanya's email address and post that for people, because this grant program, let me make sure I typed that right. I think I did. Yes. This grant program is probably launching in about a month. I mean, it's absolutely launching, but it'll probably go up in about a month. So look for information on the Arts Partnerships website sort of towards the end of October. But if you are a health and human services nonprofit looking to use the arts, and it doesn't need to be just in purchasing, you could do, you could buy supplies so that your residents, your clients have the access to making arts. You could bring in artists to do work with your entities. You could do a mural. There's lots and lots of ways to use this money. So reach out to Tanya at tanya@theartspartnership.net, because she will be able to help answer questions, get you on the mailing list so that you are the first to know about these upcoming meetings. And when this grant round happens, we're so thrilled to be able to, again, as I said, be this bridge between the art sector and the health and human sector to advance and enhance the work that you're already doing that is so, so vital to this community.
Oh, well, and it just was really exciting. And just to echo what you said, Tanya was great to work with. She was super helpful in figuring out, helping design the project, kind of taking what maybe our grant could deliver for our building, which I think was really exciting. Our team has already been brainstorming ideas, so we're ready for the next round, and hopefully a lot of other people will apply as well, because I think there's just the opportunities are wide open to bring arts to people, and so grateful for this partnership and the willingness to see us as a worthy partner for art.
Well, I know, because we were talking about this before we went online, but pre-COVID, we spent, a fair amount of time just being in meetings with other nonprofit leaders. And there's no question that those of us who serve in this sector are here because we believe that our work makes the community better. And the more we can work together to not duplicate services or not be in competition with each other, but to be in collaboration with each other, just the stronger the work is, the stronger the community is, and the more impact we can all have.
Absolutely. 110%.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add, Jill, about just this process, this project, this opportunity? You don't have to. You've said everything perfect.
No, I think I just would encourage other people to look into it. I think for us, it was a fun way to get our whole team involved. Like just to brainstorm ideas of how everybody saw that work differently, because our list was longer than what we submitted. That was kind of the final idea we came up with, and we're super excited about how it turned out. But there's lots of opportunities to make your space inviting and fun. We have an arts and crafts room, and that is one of our favorite projects. Like it's one of our intern projects. They come up with weekly art projects for the kids. So they get all the supplies out and make it super easy for mom and dad to help, which I know can be, we don't always have a lot of extra time to put all the ideas together. And so to have something already set. So I think there's little ways to include art a lot, there's lots
towards what you're trying to do. I mean, if your goal is to lessen stress in one of the most stressful times of life, we know from study after study that art is a stress reducer. But the idea of setting up for art, or now I'm going to make art, is not always a reduction of stress.
Yes.
So if you just have it in the space and it's just a normal part of the day-to-day, that changes everything.
Correct. Yeah. It makes a big difference for everyone here. So we're super excited about it.
Well, I'm thrilled. I can't wait to see your application this year. I'm delighted that you're applying again, Jill. And I second your point. If you are watching this thinking, gosh, maybe my nonprofit could apply for something, check with Tanya. Don't decide that you don't qualify. The only criteria is you can't be an arts nonprofit. You have to be a non-arts nonprofit who wants to bring art to your environment, to your building, to your clients, to however that might be. There's a million ways you could think about this work. These are small but impactful grants. And so just be open-minded and really be thinking about what you want to do, and then get in touch with Tanya so that you can get on the list. Jill, congratulations on having the vision and doing the work to get a grant in the first year. And thanks so much for joining me to talk about it today.
Thanks so much for having me. It was really fun to share.
Good. I look forward to I'll make a point of coming to see the art in person. I know generally what it is, but I'd love to see it in person. So I will get out to the space.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, great. Everybody else, if you have questions, be sure and check in with Tanya. And as always, thanks to 702 Communications for the sponsorship of Tap Talk. I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.